Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, March 16th. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Patricia Malone. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, Prince George's County Executive Rushern Baker's proposed fiscal year 2016 budget has stirred quite a few feathers. Baker's proposal that was unveiled Friday includes raising property taxes for the first time in 35 years, as well as layoffs and furloughs, all to free up more funding for schools.
The regions that have rebounded faster, rebounded because they all had really top-notch, and they invested in their public education system. That's the reputation of the county. So if we want the values to go up in this county, then we have to invest in public schools.
A key issue will be whether Baker can circumvent a 1978 law that requires voter approval before raising taxes. Political activist Judy Robinson was one of the original proponents of the law called TRIM. She's looking into the legality of his proposal.
Politicians refuse to follow the law. I can sue them. I can go back and do another charter amendment that's even more restrictive. You know, we have things to do, but they are hard ways to do it. Voters kind of look at the integrity of people. They voted Rushern in on that integrity. I had to laugh because the county council and Rushern tried to get people to overturn the term limits, which I also was privileged to chair. They wouldn't even give them another term. Do you think they're going to vote in 15% property taxes?
Meantime, council members have warned against furloughing any county employees.
Senator Ben Cardin brings Capitol Hill to Bowie State University. The Senate's Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee heard testimony on the challenges minority-owned businesses face in accessing capital. Many say they feel shut out of the market because of difficulties getting credit. Cardin says there are things the government can do to help out.
This is a huge stumbling block for the minority business population, and it's continues to perpetuate itself in terms of lack of capital and lack of access. So minority businesses will never be able to get to any type of growth and scale if we don't get a stream of capital flowing to them.
Well, we have government tools, so we want to see how the government programs are working, but there's also the private sector. Why aren't more venture capitalists investing in minority businesses? But why aren't there more SBA loans to small businesses? What tools are available at the Small Business Administration to help a growing business?
Cardin says minority-owned businesses support 6 million jobs nationwide. And a 64-year-old Upper Marlboro man could face decades in jail for his part in a fraud scheme. Federal investigators say George Grillo was involved in a scheme that made it appear that a minority-owned business had performed work on WSSC water tanks when in fact it didn't. In a plea deal, Grillo admitted to the scheme, which involved more than $1 million in laundered funds. He'll be sentenced in June. He could spend 20 years behind bars.
The bid to fill Congresswoman Donna Edwards' seat continues to widen after she announced plans to run for outgoing Senator Barbara Mikulski's seat. Former Prince George's County Council Chair Ingrid Turner is expected to declare her bid Tuesday. Turner retired from the Navy in 2006 to run for an open council seat. She was reelected 4 years later. Delegate Joseline Pena-Melnyk is also expected to announce tomorrow that she'll run for the same open seat. The Prince George's Democrat, who was born in the Dominican Republic, chairs the Latino Legislative Caucus. Former Lieutenant Governor Anthony Brown and former State's Attorney Glenn Ivey have already announced their campaigns. Several others are considering a run for the seat, including Adrian Howe, a former legislative liaison to then County Executive Jack Johnson, and County Council member Andrea Harrison. One of the hottest races across the Atlantic Ocean is getting a boost from some Marylanders. At a weekend rally in Riverdale, a group of residents threw their support behind 51-year-old Akinwumi Ambode, who's running for governor of Lagos, the capital of Nigeria. Now our area is home to the largest population of Nigerians living in the state. Local supporters made this video promoting the candidate. They say they hope it will win the minds of fellow Africans who have ties to his voters overseas.
we Nigerians in the diaspora, we want to mobilize our fellow Nigerians here to come together and let's support this candidate. Let's support APC. All of us, we want to go back to Nigeria at some point, want to bring our children back to Nigeria. But we want a candidate who can, number one, make sure that the country is on the track. There's a need for change in Nigeria, and this candidate can support the change.
Nigerians in Maryland can really influence this election, this upcoming election in Nigeria, by telling their folks in Nigeria, their neighbors, their friends, to get out and vote. Nigerian image has been tarnished by what is the current administration, and I think this is why people are very tired of the current administration, and that's why.
And the Nigerian elections will take place March 28th and April 11th.
And you're watching CTV News. I'm Byron Scott.
And I'm Patricia Vallone. Up